Cam Akers, Mike Evans, Cortland Sutton, Rashad White. So sitting here, there was nobody I loved. And after this round, we'll kind of just like review.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably just go through the whole thing.
We'll just review my team here. So sitting here, I was kind of thinking like, okay, Isaiah Pacheco possibly, Tyler Algier, that young running back. And I told myself, like, I still don't have my third receiver. I know I have 1-9. DeAndre Hopkins was still on the board. I know D-Hop's 30 years old, but he's still a quality receiver. And I still got a year, maybe 2 out of him left. Of quality production. So I was like, if I'm going to build a team that's going to try and win now too, he's a perfect wide receiver 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it gave me Amari Cooper, Deebo Samuel, and DeAndre Hopkins. And for me, I felt really good about that core with my draft capital. So let me tell you how my team played out, because we're going to end the show.
Yeah, and I do love your next pick, because I think that guy and the guy that went right before it are 2 of the best values in startups right now.
Who went next?
You took David Montgomery next.
Yes.
And right before that, Miles Sanders went. I think they are the 2 of the best values in startups right now, because people aren't sure where they're going to be. There's a chance they could both end up right back in the same spot, producing like they always have. Or they could go to somewhere else, and yeah, then it's up in the air a little bit. But either way, they're still going to be productive running backs that are going to at least be RB2s. And you got them in the 12th round. So I think that was fantastic value.
Yeah, for David Montgomery, the unknown, the free agency, him only being 25 years old, I was like, man, for how many teams, like 15 teams that need a running back, like he's going to get a shot somewhere to get some carries. So I was like, I feel very comfortable with him on my roster. It made me feel better about missing on these running backs. So I grabbed David Montgomery at running back. I also grabbed, not too much later, I grabbed James Conner. And again, Arizona running back. So my running back,
he has at least 1 year until like they have the ability to really be able to cut him.
And I'm looking at your picks here. It's like you went running back, pick, running back, pick, running back, pick for like the next four or five alternating rounds there.
So, and at the end of the draft, I went all picks.
Yeah.
So let's start let me give you my picks I ended up with. I have in 23, 1-9, 2-7, 2-9, 2-12, 3-11. So I have 3 picks in the second round. I think there's some really good value there at tight end.
For sure.
So I told myself I end up with Mark Andrews, and I end up with Mark Andrews, David Njoku, another tight end. No, I did not know the tight end, because I told myself I can grab value. Again, I have my 2 guys that are proven. Now I can let the developmental guys fall into place. So at 2-7, 2-9, 2-12, I'll be able to get a running back, and I'll be able to get probably 2 tight ends that I like. Even though everybody's listening to this, that's the way I'm going. Right? In 24 now, I really loaded up.
Yeah.
I have 1-1, 1-4, 1-12. So 3 first-round picks.
Nice.
I have 3-6, 3-10, 3-11, 4-3, 4-5, 4-8, 4-11. So I have a lot of picks.
Yeah.
Roster-wise, here's how my starting lineup is today. I don't have that second quarterback, which kind of hurts, but the way I thought about it was like David Montgomery or James Conner could be my second quarterback if they average 15 points a game. That could be my second quarterback. So my starting lineup is Trevor Lawrence, Josh Jacobs, James Conner, Deebo Samuel, Amari Cooper, DeAndre Hopkins, Mark Andrews, David Montgomery, and David Njoku. So, okay.
Yeah.
Nothing. You're going to be like, oh, that's guaranteed a winner. But that's a team with some of these other teams that can make the playoffs. And once you get to playoffs, I have the draft capital to kind of move around after. So, again, I gave myself a lot of different ways for this sway. On my bench, I don't have a lot on my bench.
Right.
So,
a lot of draft picks.
On my bench, now, again, strategy here was with all these draft capital, it opens up a bench spot.
Right.
So there's Jarvis Landry out there. There's tons of like older veterans out there that I'm gonna be able to add onto my roster. It gives me a lot of flexibility to grab players.
And especially with being, a little bit weaker for this year at quarterback, you can take all of those guys that will maybe be the bridge starter. All of the Drew Locks of the world and all of those guys, just put them all on your bench, see which one sticks.
And on my bench, I have Carson Wentz, which again, he's a turd, but it's my turn now.
But
my first Carson Wentz shirt. He might get a shot somewhere. Who knows?
Never know.
It's worth the risk. I got Carson Wentz like super late.
It's all 24th round.
Yeah, super late. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I have risk. I have Zamir White. That was I kind of took Zamir White around early, so I was not going to miss out on him.
Yeah,
especially with Jacobs, I think it makes a lot of sense to pair them together.
And if I love Zamir White, so I hope Jacobs leaves, and then I have two starting running backs. If not, and if Jacobs goes down, I still have Zamir White, who's a running back I believe in. I have Odell Beckham Jr., OBJ, so another receiver who will go somewhere and probably still offer some value this year in a flex or another wide receiver spot. I have Curtis Samuel, another free agent, Marquez Valdez-Scanlon, and McCole Hardman, another 25-year-old free agent who could end up somewhere and get a contract like a Christian Kirk contract. You don't think it works out, but it works out.
All of a sudden, he's getting fed targets because he made so much money.
Right.
So that's my team.
Yeah.
There's some things I would have done slightly differently, but again, I tried to build a team that could go different ways, and I want to invest in the future. And I'll revisit this team when we do the rookie draft. I'll tell you what rookie picks I have to kind of pan out, and I'll tell you when I make trades on this or how this 24 class pans out. But
Perfect.
I feel with these rookie picks that I have, like I'm in a really good spot to build this team up with quality players and have longevity. You know, Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence. I know I missed on that young stud receiver, but there's a chance I have enough assets here to go get Marvin Harrison Jr. But again, I want to see how the. I mean,
that'd be fantastic, man. If you could pair those two guys together,
that's the plan.
You're taking off
at 1-4. I wish I had 1-3 instead of 1-4, but it didn't work out that way. But I feel like I have enough. Again, that 112 to me is huge. Because if Drake May pans out the way he does, and he goes 1-2 in that draft class, I think I have the assets to move up one spot.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. With that 112 there, you could easily, that's like the perfect range. Late first, early second, can move you up a couple picks there to get you that guy.
If not, I get Trevor Henderson, I get Brock Bowers. I mean,
and who knows?
And
there could be another couple of quarterbacks that kind of emerge this season as well. And 1-4 might be a very good spot. If a couple more guys come up ahead, you could be staring at Marvin Harrison with that 1-4
or another quarterback. So,
right.
and that was my thought process 1-4 as well. It's like, okay, I have Caleb Williams, I have Trevor Lawrence. There's a good chance I get another quarterback as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it plays out. I'm excited. It was really fun, and I definitely want to do it again. I encourage everybody to try it out. Like it's very interesting how the draft goes because having those 24 picks in there really does
shake things up,
push everything back. And you're right, Matt. You could go all in and just draft players and not take any picks. But then you have no draft capital for the next 2 years. Now, if you draft guys like DJ Moore and Young enough, you're okay. But if anything goes sour here,
we know you're drafting DJ Moore, Matt.
Oh, that's me. But I mean, I've seen Rich. I mean, I played in enough leagues with Rich to know that if he's a contender, he doesn't have any picks for the next 2 or 3 years. So I know he's very comfortable having a team that looks like that and operates with nothing for the next couple of seasons. And he's looking at 25, 26 picks as kind of they're going to be kind of feeding the pipeline for him to keep making a push and keep trading assets. So I know that you feel comfortable doing this, and this does feel like a big time departure kind of from what I see normally from you in a league.
It is because I want to make sure I had those draft capital.
Right.
Like I want to have the draft capital. I told myself I want to see how it play. The whole point was to see I want to see how much people value the unknown over proven players. And what it turns out, just like in Dynasty, people always choose the unknown over the proven players.
Right.
It was very hidden in this draft. I'll tweet out a link to this draft so you can see the whole draft board so it's a little bit easier for you to see. So I will tweet out a link on my Twitter account for this. So take a look there and we'll see how it plays out. And you're right. I'm comfortable operating an older team. I think the biggest thing I wish I had in this draft was a second quarterback. I feel way better about my team if I had a second quarterback.
Trades can always happen.
But I think I have enough. I think I have enough to get that second quarterback. And again, we'll see how it plays out. I really want to see if I can trade up and get Anthony Richardson as well from 1-9.
Yeah.
There you
But
go.
again, I think having 1-9, 2-7, 2-9, 2-12 this year, like I'm going to get some depth there. So I feel good about it.
That might be a pipe dream, 1-9 with Richardson.
Yeah,
After
well,
the
especially
combine.
if he goes 9 to the Panthers.
Right.
He won't be there at 1-9. But then Jordan Addison will be there. Jaxon Smith Njigba will be there. Zach Charbonnet will be there. One of those guys will be there. Or if I wanted to say Dalton Kincaid, I don't even care.
Yeah.